In this tutorial we're going to be looking at the chute bolt and the importance of chute bolts in use at your entrance doors. Now, chute bolts are very important because they secure your doors in place when you lock your building overnight. In a second I'm going to show you what happens if you don't secure your door with the chute bolts in the slave one, and you can see on the screen here what it looks like when it's installed on the door just to the right of the picture there. And you can see I'm holding in my left hand the chute bolt as it is, so you can see what the various parts do. You can see here that the bolt is the bottom part that fits into the floor or into the door frame at the top of the door, and it's very important that you shoot these into the frame and the floor at night time when you lock your door, because if you don't and you just lock your doors in the middle, I've got a small picture coming up to show you in a second. What happens is people will come to your doors at night time, and with the new style of door which is just all glass, they're not quite so strong as the old style doors, and if people can rattle your doors and your bolts are not into the floor, this is the pattern you can see here. So if people can come along and rattle those handles, you can see the bolt locked in the middle there. If they can rattle those handles, then the edges of the doors on that type of door can bend. Now you can see the action of the bolt and what it's doing, and you can see the small picture on the right hand side there puts the bolt up into the door frame, and then you can see a small graphic which shows you where the bend can occur. Okay, so that can happen if you don't put your chute bolts down with this type of door. Okay, so that's very important. Now secondly, I want to talk to you about why the bolts don't get put down, and it's not necessarily your fault, but there's a couple of things you need to know. Now this is a chute bolt that could be stuck. Sometimes the bolts do get jammed, they get full of road grease and grime, but also where the bolt goes into the floor, you can get some blockage in the hole where it goes into the floor. Now this one you can see here is jammed solid, it won't move, and the reason it won't move is because, and there we are, you can see the little hole that it goes into the door frame at the bottom of the door. They can get filled up with pebbles or debris or dust or just greasy, grimy stuff, and that can literally cause you a problem and stop you being able to put that bolt down. Now you need to just try and clear those holes out. It's usually the bottom one that gets jammed rather than the one at the top of the frame. So if you can just clear those holes out and make sure that there's no debris in those, then you'll find that those bolts will go in a lot easier. Sometimes the door frames can have moved, and that can cause you a problem, but it's usually because of debris. So there you are, that's the importance of chute bolts.